Hello everyone, B.O.B. here, and welcome to another Minecraft tutorial. And today's tutorial is all about the bean. I am, of course, talking about the cocoa beans, and you could farm these things very simply on little modules like this. You got 6 jungle logs with 6 slime blocks stuck to the back of them. Those slime blocks are sitting on top of a sticky piston, which is right next to a solid block with a button on it. So whenever all of your cocoa beans are ready to harvest, like these ones are here, you just go ahead and hit your button, and they all fall down for you to pick up. And then you just go ahead and replant them. Now, this is cheap, and it's effective, but it's not exactly fast. I mean, sure, you could build multiple modules. You wouldn't want the modules to be any bigger than this, though, because, I mean, we are at our 12 block piston push limit. But still, I mean, it's not exactly exciting, and eventually it's going to take up a lot of room if you need a lot of these things. So, if something fast is what you're looking for, well, you're looking at it right here. This is my semi-automatic, bone meal powered bean farm, and though it may look like a little bit of a complicated build in the back here, it truly isn't. And well, it's even easier to use because it's semi-automatic. All you have to do is place the bean right here on the side of this jungle log. It will automatically grow the bean and harvest the bean all in one foul swoop, so you could just stand here as long as you need and just keep placing those beans, gathering up however many you need. And you see they're all going to fall into this chest below here, and just in those few beans, we've already collected 15. So, I'm going to show you how to build this. As I said, it's very simple and compact, and it's actually not all that expensive to build. Now, I have everything you need in this chest here. You're going to need one collection chest and a hopper. One dispenser, must be a dispenser, not a dropper. You'll need one observer, 2 sticky pistons, 3 redstone repeaters, 1 redstone comparator, 4 redstone torches, 8 pieces of redstone dust, at least 8 building blocks of your choice. I'm going to use smooth stone here. And keep in mind, we will place a few temporary blocks throughout the build, so you might want a few extra for that. You're going to need at least 1 jungle log to plant on, 1 piece of glass, which is kind of optional. I mean, you can replace it with something else. You're going to need, well, a decent amount of bone meal, at least a stack to start out with. It kind of all depends on, well, how many beans you want. And of course, at least 1 bean to start out with. So for this build, you're going to need a 5x6 area. And for this tutorial, I laid that area out in iron blocks. And what you're going to want to do is come to the side that has only 5 blocks. And right in that center block, you're going to place your chest. Now, come around to the back of that chest and go ahead and crouch place a hopper feeding into that. Now we're going to go ahead and just place in a temporary block so we can get our observer put in place. You're going to want to come to the back of that hopper and just place that observer right on top of that temporary block. And then we can go ahead and get that block out of there. And then in the very next block, you're going to want to have a sticky piston facing up, just like that. So the sticky part is right up next to the back of that observer, and then we're going to go ahead and place a solid block on top of that sticky piston. Another solid block right beside the sticky piston, and we're going to place one of our repeaters on that, drawing a signal from that solid block. You're going to want to have that repeater set to 4 ticks. Next, have that repeater feeding into a solid block. We're going to go ahead and place a torch on one side and a torch on the other side. Next, let's get our redstone dust. We're going to put a little dash of it right beneath that torch. Then a solid block right here in the corner next to that dash of redstone dust. Come back to the redstone torches and place one on that block. So that torch should turn off due to this block being powered by this torch. Next, we're going to build a comparator clock. So we're going to go ahead and have that comparator sitting right here so it can pull a signal from this redstone torch. And we're just going to want to place some dust in a loop just like that, feeding right back into that comparator. Make sure this comparator is in subtract mode, meaning this torch right here is lit. Then we want 2 solid blocks, one here, one here. We can come around to this other side so we can get our dispenser put in place right on top of that solid block. And then we're going to carry this redstone signal right up on top of that dispenser, and you're going to have to crouch place to put the dust there. Then we're going to place another repeater right underneath your observer here, facing that direction. So when we come over to the other side, we're going to go ahead and have a solid block sitting right in front of that repeater, so that repeater will be feeding a signal into it. Come right next to that solid block and your hopper, and place your second sticky piston facing up. Now we just need to place our jungle log on top of that sticky piston. We are going to pull this signal from the torch on this side the same way we did on the other side. We're going to put a dash of dust right beneath that, have a solid block sitting in this corner right beside that dash of dust, and another torch coming out of that solid block. Then right next to the block with the torch on it, we're going to go ahead and place one more dash of redstone dust, and then we're going to place our last repeater right next to that, feeding into this sticky piston. And this repeater will need to be set at 4 ticks, as well as this repeater. So just to be clear, every repeater in this build is set to 4 ticks, so you're going to want to place it down and then click it 3 times. Now this is where our glass comes into play, and I'm actually going to just place one temporarily on top of that observer. We don't need that there, but I wanted to be able to place one right here above this empty spot, and I can actually get rid of that or leave it in. It didn't really matter. But the whole purpose of this is whenever this piston extends, it's going to make sure all those beans don't go flying up out of your farm here, and they should all either land down in your hopper or pop back into your inventory. Then we just need to load up some bone meal into our dispenser, and we can go ahead and get our beans and just place the beans. So my friends, that concludes today's tutorial, and obviously I hope you found it helpful, and it helps you get whatever brown dyes or cookies or whatever it is you're trying to make with these cocoa beans. And as always, if there are any farms or contraptions you'd like to see tutorials for on PS4, please let me know about that in the comments below. I love to take requests. This video was a request. But in the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit that like button. And if you're interested in seeing more from me, consider hitting that subscribe button. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for watching and wish you a wonderful day.